China is bracing itself. US unveils billions-dollar weapon of mass destruction. The US has rolled out its largest aircraft carrier, the US Gerald Ford, which has a cost of a whopping $13 billion. This warship was designed specifically to deter China in the South China Sea. But will this powerful weapon be enough to checkmate China? Continue watching this video to figure that out. Before continuing, I will request you to subscribe to our channel. I appreciate all the support you send our way. So, a big thank you for that. Alright, so the USS Gerald Ford is the world's most lethal and most expensive aircraft carrier. It is a 100,000-ton aircraft carrier, which has the power of more than 50 nations packed into one sea vessel, and courtesy of its nuclear fuel, can run for 25 years without stopping for refueling. If that did not sound intimidating enough, the USS Gerald Ford has a lot of layers of defenses on board, and is protected by 10 most advanced warships and frigates. This is enough to scare China, right? Wrong. China can decimate the USS Gerald Ford in a single strike. China has specifically designed its hypersonic missiles to counter the US threat in the South China Sea. China does not hide the fact that its missiles were designed to seek and destroy US aircraft carriers because its testing facilities contain mock-ups carefully constructed to match the proportions of actual US sea vessels. How has the United States responded to Chinese hypersonic missiles? It has deployed high-powered lasers to destroy this threat in the air without letting these missiles close to the vessels. One of the reasons why China and the US are pitting themselves against each other is the rising geopolitical tension. China sees mainland Taiwan as a part of its country, whereas the US sees it as an independent and sovereign nation-state. The recent US visit to Taiwan was meant to assure Taiwanese leadership that the US will support them in all respects if the Chinese were to exercise military force and invade them. To that effect, the US President Joe Biden has signed a defense spending bill of up to $10 billion in military assistance. China has not relented either. It has used all its resources to project Taiwan as an extension of its mainland territory. It is also important to mention that China claims a huge swath of South China Sea as its territory, which also includes some islands, which Japan has traditionally claimed. International law only gives 12 nautical miles off its shores, which has flared tensions between China and the US and its allies, including Japan. The United States has shown an aggressive military and diplomatic posture by sending the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi to visit Taiwan. China was not happy, and it did not mince words about it either. In fact, during the state visit of Nancy Pelosi, China test-fired a DF-17 missile only 75 miles away from Taiwan. This was a message and a reminder to all US allies of the advanced military capabilities of China. Dongfang-17, or DF-17, and Xingkong-2 are China's two main hypersonic missiles. The DF-17 was first introduced to the world in 2019 with its dedicated air glide mechanism. The DF-17 has so far been tested about 7 times, and its success rate has been 100%. It has also displayed an exceptional level of accuracy. Reports of the US intelligence about the DF-17 states that it has always struck its target within a range of meters. The hypersonic glide vehicle attached to the missile can also be used to deploy nuclear weapons, along with conventional precision armaments. The missile system is so adaptive that it can undertake evasive tactics and maneuvers to outsmart enemies' offensives. This means that the weapon's unmatched agility and not its speed make it a terrifying weapon. Since this weapon travels at hypersonic speeds, its increased maneuverability make it a difficult target to intercept. The most advanced air defenses are mostly helpless against this emerging new threat. Almost all ICBMs travel at hypersonic speeds, but this does not make them hypersonic missiles. In fact, the only reason why DF-17 and Xingkong-2 are hypersonic missiles is because they are extremely agile, despite their tremendous speeds. The DF-17 is a 36 feet long, 33,000-pound weapon that can fly nearly to 200,000 feet at speeds of Mach 5 or greater. The weapon system has the potential to take out targets about 1,600 miles away. The Xingkong-2 can reach a maximum altitude of about 98,000 feet and a speed in excess of Mach 6, while having a range of about 6,200 miles. The Xingkong-2 is similar to DF-17. It is a rocket which shoots a maneuverable warhead at speeds of more than Mach 5. The Xingkong-2 comes with a Wave Rider, a flight vehicle which can create shockwaves for greater lift, less drag, greater range, as well as improved performance. All of the tests carried out by Xingkong-2 were 100% successful. This means that the missiles could be effectively deployed against the US. What would happen if the Xingkong-2 or DF-17 was used against USS Gerald Ford? In an actual combat scenario, there's nothing much that the USS Gerald Ford could do to defend itself from these hypersonic missiles. It is being proposed that the USS Gerald Ford be upgraded to the latest wheeled laser defense system to give the aircraft carrier a fighting chance against the Chinese hypersonic missiles. But what are these wheeled laser systems? These systems are the hope of the US Navy against hypersonic missiles. The idea is that these lasers will be able to burn the missiles in the air. Lasers travel with the speed of light and thus have an advantage over the hypersonic missile. Lasers also can be used infinite times, at least in theory, as long as they are connected to a power source on which the USS Gerald Ford runs. Then, we can expect the laser system to be operational. It has also been estimated that the laser systems will not cost as much, at least when compared to deploying hypersonic missiles. Each laser burst will only cost between $1 to $10, and is enough to take out a target ranging from $1 to $10 million in the air. The economic advantage of using a laser is of a huge economic benefit. A laser defense system could be the difference between a sure win and a complete defeat. In the last 10 years or so, the US Navy developed the laser energy system and tested it on USS Ponce in the Persian Gulf. The weapon system was powerful enough to take out small aircraft and small boats. In the last couple of years, more powerful versions of this energy system, called as Helios, which stands for High Energy Laser with Integrated Optical Dazzler and Surveillance, have been deployed, which have the capacity to take on bigger and badder adversaries. Here's hoping that Helios is enough to deter China from deploying its hypersonic missiles in the South China Sea and escalate the situation from where there's no going back. That's all for today, folks. Smash the like button if you like the content. See you in the next video.